Hello everyone. In this lecture we will discuss Euler graph and Hamiltonian circuit. Let us start with Euler graph. In a graph G, a closed walk which contains all the edges of the graph G is called an Euler line, and the graph which contains an Euler line is called an Euler graph. It means to check whether a graph is an Euler graph or not, we have to check for the existence of an Euler line, that is a closed walk which contains all the edges of the graph G. Look at this graph. In this graph, an Euler line, this one exists. This is V4, E2, V5, E1, V1, E6, V4, E5, V2, E4, V3, E3 and V4. Similarly, you can find another Euler line starting with V1, V2 or any other vertex. It means this graph contains an Euler line and you can say this graph is an Euler graph. In an Euler graph, isolated vertices are of no use. That's why we assume that an Euler graph does not contain isolated vertices. Another thing, since an Euler graph contains an Euler line, means a closed walk which contains all the edges of the graph G, that's why we can say an Euler graph is a connected graph. Now, this is the one way to check whether a graph is an Euler graph or not. Is there any other way without tracing an Euler line? Can we check whether a graph is an Euler graph or not? For this, we will have the next theorem. The theorem is a given connected graph G is an Euler graph if and only if all the vertices are of even degree. If and only if this is biconditional. So first we will assume that the graph is an Euler graph, then we will prove all the vertices are of even degree. In second time, we will assume that all vertices are of even degree, then we will show the graph is an Euler graph. So let's start with the first part. Suppose the graph is the Euler graph and assume that G is connected. If the graph is an Euler graph, then it contains an Euler line. Euler line means a closed walk which contains all the edges of the graph G. Now, in tracing a walk, we observe that for each vertex, there are two edges associated with the vertex before and after the vertex in the sequence. It means if there is a vertex in the sequence, so through one edge you will enter to the vertex and through another edge you will move out from the vertex. It means the degree of the vertex will be increased by 2. Similarly, suppose if the vertex is repeated in the sequence, then again through one edge you will enter to the vertex and from one edge you will move out from the vertex. It means every time the degree of this vertex will be increased by 2. That's why the degree of all these vertices, because this is true for all the vertices, so degree of all the vertices will be even. So this is the first part. Now let the degree of every vertex is even. If the degree of every vertex is even, it means through one vertex you can enter through one edge you can enter to the vertex and through another edge you can move out from the vertex. It means you can construct a walk from an arbitrary vertex V. Now just take an example so that every vertex in this graph is degree of each vertex in the graph is even. So this is one graph in which you will see that the degree of each vertex is even. So degree of each vertex is even. Now we'll try to find an Euler line in this graph. So what we have to do? Now look at this. Since the degree of each vertex is even, thus we can enter and exit from the vertex. Repeat the process of tracing the walk until we get the vertex V. Suppose this is say A, B, C, D and E. So if we start from the vertex C, so the closed walk may be C, D, E and C. So this is the closed walk. You can assign names to these edges. In short, I have written in this way C, D, E and C. So this is one closed walk. So now if the closed walk contains all the edges of the graph, then the process is terminated. So this closed walk does not contain all the edges of the graph G. Only 3 edges, the C, D, D and C are covered. So this does not contain all the edges of the graph G. But if this closed walk contains all the edges of the graph G, it means the process is terminated. But here the process is not terminated. So if this process is not terminated, means we have to again start, we have to again check for a closed walk starting from the same vertex C. And the next walk may be, look at this, C, A, B, C, C, A, B, C. So if you combine these two closed walk, then it may be possible that it contains all the edges of the graph G, or it may be possible that it does not contain all the edges of the graph G. If it contains all the edges, then process is terminated. Otherwise, we have to repeat the process of identifying closed walk again and again until we get a closed walk which contains all the edges of the graph G, and finally we will get a closed walk which contains all the edges of the graph G. So this is finally we will get an Euler line. There is an Euler line, and you can say the graph is an Euler graph. In this way you can prove the theorem. Now unicursal graph. In a graph G, an open walk that contains all the edges of the graph G is called unicursal line or open Euler line. The graph which contains unicursal line is called unicursal graph. Look at this. In this graph, the open Euler line is this one: V1, E6, V4, V1, E6, V4, E2, V5, E1, V1, E7, V2, E5, E3, V3, E4 and V2. So first vertex is different from the last vertex. That's why it is an open Euler line, because it contains all the edges of the graph G. Now look at this one. Another interesting thing is, in previous theorem we have shown that a graph is an Euler graph if all the vertices are of even degree. If you see in this graph here, this degree of V5 is 2, degree of V4 is 4, this is degree of V3 is 2, but the degree of V1 is 3, degree of V2 is also 3. So two vertices are there whose degree is not even, it is odd. So there is one condition, there is the condition for a graph to be a unicursal graph, and the condition is there must be exactly two vertices of odd degree for a graph to be a unicursal graph. Here the vertex V1 and the vertex V2 are of odd degree. That's why there exists an open Euler line and the graph is a unicursal graph. Now Hamiltonian circuit. Hamiltonian circuit is a closed walk that traverses each vertex of G exactly once, except the starting vertex at which the walk terminates also. So in Hamiltonian circuit, we have the condition that it must be passed through every vertex and exactly one time. So for this graph, the Hamiltonian circuit is this one. If you look at this in the graph, this is the Hamiltonian circuit: V1, E1, V3, E4, V2, E5, V4, E3 and V1. So this is the Hamiltonian circuit. Now some fact about Hamiltonian circuit. Hamiltonian circuit in a graph with n vertices consists exactly n edges. If we remove one edge from the Hamiltonian circuit, then we get a path which is known as Hamiltonian path. So Hamiltonian path is a path which consists all the edges of the graph G. A Hamiltonian path in a graph with n vertices consists exactly n minus 1 edges. A graph that has a Hamiltonian circuit, then automatically it will have a Hamiltonian path, because you can get a Hamiltonian path by removing one edge from Hamiltonian circuit. But if a graph has a Hamiltonian path, you cannot say, it is not necessary that Hamiltonian circuit exists. It may or it may not. Now for a given complete graph, how many Hamiltonian circuits will be there? To answer this question, we will have this theorem. In a complete graph G with n vertices, there are n minus 1 by 2 edge disjoint Hamiltonian circuits if n is greater than or equal to 3. So here n is greater than or equal to 3, because without, or you can say for n less than 3, a circuit is not possible. So for n greater than or equal to 3, we have to show that there will be n minus 1 by 2 edge disjoint Hamiltonian circuits. Now a complete graph with n vertices consists n minus 2 by 2 edges, we know it. And a Hamiltonian circuit consists n edges. It means in a complete graph, the maximum number of Hamiltonian circuits will be divide this number with n. So we will get n minus 1 by 2. So the maximum number of Hamiltonian circuits in a complete graph will be n minus 1 by 2. Now we will show that there are exactly n minus 1 by 2 Hamiltonian circuits, and we can construct all these Hamiltonian circuits. For example, look at this. This is K5 complete graph of 5 vertices. So construct a Hamiltonian circuit starting from an arbitrary vertex V. Since degree of each vertex is n minus 1, for one Hamiltonian circuit, 2 degrees of each vertex, one for incoming edge and one for outgoing edge, will be consumed. So if we start from this vertex, so look at this is the one Hamiltonian circuit. For as I told you that for one Hamiltonian circuit, 2 degrees of a vertex will be consumed. Since in all n minus 1 degrees for each vertex are there, so you can trace n minus 1 by 2 Hamiltonian circuits. Now look at this, how can we trace? So first one is this Hamiltonian circuit for K5. Now if we remove all these edges from this graph, then we will have the remaining graph like this. Then again we can trace a Hamiltonian circuit like this. You start from this one, this one, this one, this one and this one. So this is another Hamiltonian circuit. So here only 2 Hamiltonian circuits are there, but in larger number of vertices we will repeat the same procedure. Once first draw a Hamiltonian circuit, then remove the edges of the circuits from the graph, then trace another circuit and repeat the process. In this way we will have n minus 1 by 2 Hamiltonian circuits. Now how can we say that these Hamiltonian circuits are edge disjoint? Because to draw a Hamiltonian circuit, once we have drawn a Hamiltonian circuit, we are removing all the edges from the graph. It means the another Hamiltonian circuit is edge disjoint circuit with respect to the previous Hamiltonian circuit, because no edge is common in these two Hamiltonian circuits. That's why there will be n minus 1 by 2 edge disjoint Hamiltonian circuits. And this Hamiltonian circuit is practically applicable to one of the famous problem known as traveling salesman problem. Suppose there are n cities, for example 5 cities. A traveling salesman has to cover all these cities starting from a vertex, and finally after covering all these cities he has to reach to this to his or her original place. So it means he has to find a Hamiltonian circuits, and number of Hamiltonian circuits will be there. So he has to choose the Hamiltonian circuit which has the minimum distance. So the traveling salesman problem is basically related to, or you can say basically problem is to find a Hamiltonian circuit with having minimum distance. So I hope that you got the concept of Euler graph and Hamiltonian circuits.